That's right, Chris. I mean, as you can see behind me, it's just one of the most dramatic images that we have coming out of this region here in the Iowa and South Dakota area. Now, this bridge started going down just before 11 p.m. last night. I was here a few minutes after that, and it looks a lot different now. Let's see if we can get some video up so you can truly get a scope of the damage that we're seeing here. I want you to take a look behind me. I'm going to step out of the frame here just so you can see it. Look how high this water level is here. We're down at the Missouri River Boat Club along the Big Sioux River, just at the Iowa-South Dakota state line. Now, when I drove into Dakota Dunes earlier today, about 1:45, this was not this high. This piece of land you see behind me may look like any other piece of farmland in Iowa. But for one Shelby County family, this land is worth more than just the dirt I'm standing on. It's been part of their family for generations. If you don't have a camper or a tent, you can always rent a cabin like this one behind me. Now, it doesn't offer much. Really, it's just a place to sleep. But with a view like this, you're going to be spending a lot of time outdoors. Well, Jessica, they had just minutes to leave as water streamed in, many of them with just the clothes on their backs. You saw a glimpse of that drone video earlier, just catastrophic damage across McCook Lake. And really, it's just devastating, but we're going to show you that video again. This once vibrant and tight-knit community along the lake now just gone. As we mentioned, catastrophic damage left behind after floodwaters from the Big Sioux River roared in on Sunday night. Earlier this morning, I met with a handful of McCook Lake residents who described the horrifying minutes of trying to get out as those floodwaters came. Now, a couple I spoke to earlier today at that Ron DeSantis event, this is their first time caucusing ever. They actually just moved here to Iowa not that long ago from California, so they're definitely feeling the cold tonight. But no matter what, there's going to be thousands of Iowans turning out tonight, a couple hundred here at the Lamar's Convention Center, where all the action is going to be here for Plymouth County. But for now, with KTV's Jason Moeller behind the camera, I'm Katie Copple. Jessica, back to you in studio. Norfolk Fire Rescue is one of the first fire departments in Nebraska to utilize drone technology, giving them a better view from the sky that they wouldn't have from the ground. Jessica, as you mentioned, millions of people are hitting the roads and the skies for holiday travel season. And here at the Sioux Gateway Airport, they are busier than usual. With just 2 flights a day out of the Sioux Gateway Airport, staff here are used to screening just a handful of passengers at a time. But with the holiday season now here, this small airport is seeing more passengers coming in and out of the airport. I spoke with Airport Manager Al Lorenzo earlier today, and he said today and tomorrow are looking to be their busiest days leading up to Christmas. There are so many activities to do out here at Lewis and Clark Recreation Center. If you like to fish, you can check out the pier like this one right behind me. This is also a swim beach as well for you to swim in the lake. When we get behind the wheel of a car, we know we need to pull over to the side of the road to let emergency vehicles pass. But what if you don't see the lights or hear the sirens? This new technology utilized by Norfolk Fire Rescue alerts drivers through apps or even the radio that they've got emergency vehicles coming up behind them, giving them plenty of time to pull over safely and let those emergency vehicles pass. Now you can see here really how fast and how harshly the floodwaters are running through the Big Sioux River. This river has crested. That crested happened about 3:30 this morning at about 44.98 feet. That crest came several hours sooner than expected and also came in several feet higher than predicted. The amount of rain this region has seen in the last few weeks has really been wreaking havoc in this area. Now let's take a look from the sky. You can see the scope of the collapse from our Skylink 4 drone. This video taken just a couple hours ago. Now the section of the train bridge on the North Sioux City side has collapsed and shifted, and that was the first part to go. The other half of this on the Iowa side has also started collapsing. The bridge is on the BNSF rail line connecting South Dakota and Iowa and a major transportation line for this region. Speaking with community members all day here in Bloomfield, the one thing they all said is that Kurt Strom had a heart of gold and he would do anything for anyone. Reporting in Bloomfield, Nebraska, I'm Katie Copple. It's a bit of a cloudy day, unfortunately, here in Wayne, but it is clearing up. We're getting glimpses of the sun, so we're hoping by the time that partial eclipse eclipses us here in Wayne, Nebraska later this afternoon, we're going to get to see some of it. Well, first off, hopefully you have yourself a pair of eclipse glasses. Let's see if I can dig these out of my pocket here. So you need a pair of these to be able to see the sun and not hurt your eyes. So think of it, if you're looking at the sun, it's basically giving the inside of your eyes a sunburn. So make sure you have a pair of eclipse glasses. You can also use these as an effect on your phone, because you can't put your phone at the sun either. Here on Main Street, things look a lot different now than it did 10 years ago. You can see trees and buildings behind me that have been here for decades. But if you move to this side of town, things look a lot different. It's empty. Empty lots, very few trees, a lot different than what it looked like 10 years ago. The crime scene investigative team works out of police and fire headquarters every day. But once they get called to a scene, they have to look for many different pieces of evidence, like the fingerprints I just left on the car. I'm hanging out with June here at the O'Brien County Fair. They're celebrating 100 years this year. Now June here at the petting zoo, you can come see her, and there's a lot of other exhibits you can check out as well. So as of right now, people are trickling in here to the Lamar's Convention Center, and it doesn't look like that bitter cold, and I mean it is bitter cold out there. We were a little chilly walking in without gloves today, but it's not stopping people from turning out here to the Lamar's Convention Center, and it didn't stop people from coming out earlier today in Sergeant Bluff for one final campaign stop for Ron DeSantis. I was over at Pub 52 earlier today speaking with hopeful caucus goers who said some of them still aren't quite sure who they're going to caucus for tonight, but they're just excited for the opportunity to do so. Well, Graham, I was here last night just before 11 o'clock Central Time when this collapse first started happening and this bridge started taking on water. We're about 15 hours removed from that, and it looks so much worse. Yeah, Jessica, if you're staying in town or heading out on the roads, chances are you're going to encounter more traffic this holiday season. Sioux City Police say they will have officers out throughout the holiday weekend and into the new year, making sure everyone is staying safe on the roads. Now, here locally, Sioux City Police Sergeant Tom Gill says if you're heading out for a holiday party or event and plan on having a drink, make sure you're also lining up a sober ride home.